Yeah, on the same kind of list, I mean, when you talk about what to do, it's energy efficiency, waste reduction, with a goal of waste elimination, reducing the mayor had set a goal for all the departments to reduce their energy consumption by 10% over the next 3 years. We're in charge of providing the information to the directors on what their energy consumption is so that they're informed. But at a fundamental level, I mean, you can go on any website and get a litany of, low-hanging fruit things to do. We saved over $100,000 a year in one water treatment plant by turning off dehumidifiers. There was massive dehumidifiers in these water plants. But that in reality, the way that you have the transformative change is to create green teams, so create a group of people and a network of people within an organization to affect change, and then join a network and be part of a broader group of network of folks. Lindsay and I are part of a Urban Sustainable Leaders Network of sustainability directors around the country, so we can commiserate and share stories and learn ideas. And if I need something for the mayor, in 2 hours, I can send out an email to a group of 40, 50 people and have all of the different sustainability teams kind of throwing back to me, within hours, okay, this was the ordinance that we passed that achieved the goals that you're trying to do. So I think that's stronger than sort of just giving a list of, change out lights, and we have that, and both of us have that information. But it's one of those things that's the first step, but then how do you create the system within an organization so that you can continue to find where the low-hanging fruit is?
I just wanted to thank you for having this discussion. It's very intriguing. I'm a councilman in Shaker Heights, a suburb of Cleveland, and I've taken a couple of runs at this whole sustainability thing and run into the same resistance that you do. It's new, it costs more, this is where we've always done things. 2 questions. One, and you started addressing it, is that quantitative analysis data out there that we can use in terms of cost savings? You've been talking about that the City of Cleveland has been realizing cost savings. Can we find that information somewhere and use it to say, this is working here, let's try it there? So, and you were just talking about you've got a group of people who are working on this. So where can we find that information? Can it be publicized more? Second question, a specific tactic that I took a run at. I'm looking at the vehicles that the cities use, the police cars, trash hauling trucks, all those vehicles that are out there every day, police cars 24/7. If we can get to the hybrids, I would think we can reduce the energy, the cost, and the like. When I pose that to the police chief, he says there's simply no products out there. That in terms of the police cruisers, they don't make the hybrids. And so when I emailed Ford with the same question, they sent me back the form email. We don't discuss what types of things are in research right now. I'm wondering, is there an initiative that cities could come together and say, we would really like to see this? I mean, if there was a hybrid police vehicle out there, I assume every governmental entity would purchase those. I'm just wondering in terms of the coordination, if we can, for that specific tactic, go for police cruisers or trash vehicles, but then also the information about the quantitative data.
I'll take the information piece. We do have some of that information available. I think for your case, what would be interesting for you to look at are start to get the information on your own facilities and then analyze it from the standpoint of what would a 10% savings mean, for our facilities. Looking at fuel, waste reduction, the City of Cleveland saves a little over $40 for every ton of material that we recycle, that we keep out of the waste stream. That's just looking at what our tipping fees are, what our contracts are for disposal, and how much we're making from our recycler. So if we divert that waste to recycling. So taking our residential recycling rates, saving $40 a ton, that helps us determine that, okay, we're saving about $900,000 from keeping that waste out of the landfill. So that puts into play, we have a $9.6 million waste budget a year. That's just landfill costs. So what would it mean if we increased our recycling rate by 10% more? And those are the types of arguments that we help present and bring to the leadership to help make those decisions about how do we develop more effective recycling programs. And that's sort of one track. We do the same kind of work around energy efficiency, and Bill Egger, who's sitting over there, is our energy manager and really tries to help create that argument for energy efficiency within our facilities. So yes, the information is available. Is it on a website where you can go grab it right away? No, not really. But that's something we can produce that. So.
Just one piece of advice, if this would work for your municipality, which I'm not familiar with. We rely heavily on students and professors who have interest in these types of topics from universities. And whenever I talk to, especially suburban communities that might have smaller full-time staffs and not have the types of resources that bigger cities might, if you could find either some really good students or a professor who has passion in this, there are students out there dying for this type of experience because they know when they go to work for a government or when they go to work for a business, there's a good chance they're going to be asked to do this type of work. So that would be my first suggestion, as far as, and also because that's how I got my start with my job at the city, was kind of sneaking in as a grad student at some point. But as to the vehicle one, gosh, vehicles, I try to touch them as least as possible because it's such a tricky one all the time, especially with really territorial things like police vehicles. And I know that that's a struggle for us too, is being able to find vehicles that are on the EPA's green vehicle list that also meet what our specs are for public safety and things like that. And as far as whether cities could all come together to push for something like this, you know, an avenue might be the organization ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, which is an international nonprofit that provides assistance to municipalities and governments trying to become more sustainable. And I would be interested in seeing if they've done any work with that. We certainly haven't yet.
Also, the U.S. Conference of Mayors is another avenue that helps create mandates for leadership in communities. So. Sorry, we didn't have a great answer for you.
We're scared of it too.
I see that we've come to the end of our time. I want to again thank the panelists. This has been a really great, lively discussion. Great questions. Thanks. We'll probably stick around for a minute or two afterwards if you had a burning question you didn't get to ask. And I'm going to turn it over to Eric again at this point to do the wrap-up.
Thanks, Mark, for moderating the program today. Today at the City Club, we've been listening to a New Leaders program featuring Lindsay Baxter, Andrew Watterson, and Roger Chang. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This program is now adjourned.
Our cookie is still there.